Welcome to the new weekly outlook. Haven't done it in a long time, but we are back. Market was boring, nothing much to do. So let's start. Firstly and foremost, as always, we are starting with the economic news calendar to see which news are gonna be the liquidity injection into the markets for this week. What can we see on Monday is that we don't have any red folder news, plus it's a day prior the CPI, which is the big three red folder news. And I expect Monday price action to be really sus and boring. First day of the week, day prior the CPI, the weekly candle is just opening up, so be really careful while trading it. On Tuesday, like we said, CPI. After the CPI, we have the Fed news, but we should be good to trade after the CPI news. And the liquidity injection from it means that we should have a good price action, hopefully. Then on Wednesday, we also got the PPI and Fed news. And Thursday and Friday, no news, but we are free to trade because of the liquidity injection from the prior days. Let's start with the indices for this one. Doing the top-down analysis, what do we always do is that we start on the monthly time frame. We are looking for the bias, and what can we see here? For the bias, we are looking for the candlestick logic and for the FEGs. FEGs are just the order flow legs showing us the intention of the price. So what can we see here is that the monthly candle is inside candle, which means that the previous month high nor the previous month low on both assets is tagged, which means that we are in consolidation so far. On the weekly time frame, the chart is showing also nasty range and consolidation, but what can we see is that we have the S&T on the previous week low with the NQ here on the ES. We are running above the previous week high, hard closing above that level, which means that we are likely gonna seek the next closest PD array, right here this swing high, and after that this swing high. It is much stronger than the NQ on the left side. Like you can see, we have the good sweep of the previous week low plus this swing low, but it's within the range. So the next target I'm expecting on the NQ potentially to deliver is the previous week high. On the daily time frames, what can we see is that we are running previous day high on both assets, which is bullish, and the continuation is expected to occur right here. I will favor the ES for longs because of the local strength. You can see how we are breaking above the previous week high right there with this candle, while NQ is still below that level, which means the strength is over there. Plus we have those equal highs over there as well. But first and foremost is to get towards this high as a target. And this is why I'm favoring ES. But also daily is in a nasty range. And usually we will need to focus on the externals of the range and not trade internals inside of the ranges, because they are usually lower probability and more often than not they will fail. Let's go to the Bitcoin chart. So what do we have on the monthly time frame? We have the sweep of the previous month low, and that we are rejecting off of nicely, respecting it. This bullish candle means that on the lower time frame we have bullish order flow legs, bullish FEGs pointing higher, creating new legs to the upper side of the market. But what did we do on this swing low? We have disrespected it. So this fair value area should also hold the price down, and if we are moving lower, we should seek this swing low at 50k. But what do we have also right here? This is the potential FEG on the monthly time frame, monthly gap, and this gap is not yet negated. We have 20 days still but if we don't negate this gap, we will create a new area where we could move lower from. If this gap doesn't get negated, we can expect this as a narrative. If we are going lower, where are we going lower from? From this FEG towards the first price PD array, which is this swing low, and then final target 50k. But let's move to the lower time frames to see what's happening. On the weekly, we can see right here that we are just ranging. We swept this swing low right here, and after that we swept this previous candle low. And by the current look, this is just the range, and we should expect the price after this beautiful respect and sweep to deliver higher towards the swing high, which is also inside of the weekly FEG that has been used for the context. And after we get to this high, this can be used as a pivot context. Once we get that sweep, if we get a sweep, I will observe to take the shorts if we get a confirmation. But let's look at the daily time frame. It is just a huge range, and basically move from the external of the range towards the external of the range, from range low to the range high. If you will long, you will need to get positioned around here, not in the middle of the range, because you will get chopped up. Look at these candles. It's been inside of the daily FEG and it's just chopped down by the current look. So right now we are also inside of the daily FEG right here. Sorry for the ambulance if you hear it. But we are inside of the daily FEG and I will not play this. Why? Because we are inside of this range, plus we are inside of this basically local range right here. Even though this can be used as a narrative then to move us towards these equal highs, I will basically not play it. I will stay flat until we get to these highs. Basically doing nothing, just sitting on my hands and waiting for this level to be tagged, and after this level is tagged, then I will look for the reactions. Are we gonna disrespect it, meaning that we close above that level and continue higher, or are we gonna just sweep that level, use it as a liquidity sweep, get back into the range, position myself for the shorts, which is also gonna be the weekly pivot context right here, and then to target that final 50k mark. We can see that Ethereum is basically following the same steps as the Bitcoin. Similar price action on all the time frames, so there is nothing much to go over it. While the Solana is currently losing the strength. Look at the daily candles. It created the bearish context, which was executed. And last week, it was in a trending condition, leading the BTC and Ethereum. It was the strongest asset out of those three majors. And I had the longs, but the break-even was hit. Other than that, all the other altcoins I'm not that interested in right now. We had the longs on this asset as well. Last week that was 2.24 R up. Take profit hit inside of the unfazed private group. Other than that, silver, crude oil and gold are just fucked up since the start of the year, and I'm not gonna go over those assets because they're just trapped within multiple bearish and bullish arguments. I'm not touching them at all. I'm mostly focused on day trading indices, getting some intraday swings on the majors, plus some altcoins if they have the trending conditions, and on-chain is heating up. Robinhood is popping out. You need to lock in on that. So that will be it from this one. Safe trading next week and peace. Enjoy your day.